Well, it all came down to this, the college football playoff final. And with 12 teams in the college football playoff, a lot of people wondered how this would work out after the first round. Everybody was screaming about, oh, this seeding is wrong. This team shouldn't have made it. That team shouldn't have made it because there was a couple blowouts. And at the end of the day, we get the number 7 and the number 8 seeded teams going into the college football playoff, matching up in the title game. That was Notre Dame and Ohio State. Now, if you've watched some of the live streams that I've made on this channel, you might know I am historically a massive Notre Dame hater. I am proud to say I'm a Notre Dame hater. There's no question about that. I'm not going to pretend like I'm unbiased when it comes to them. And I think ultimately what everybody wants, if you don't actually have a dog in the fight, is a competitive game. Well, initially, that is not what we had. At one point, I believe it was 31-7. 31-7, I think, was the score for Ohio State against Notre Dame. We can go to actually check the scoring here, see how out of hand it got. Yes, it was 31-7. About halfway through the third quarter. Now, Notre Dame got completely and totally dominated. They took the first drive all the way down the field, scored a touchdown, like an 8-9 minute drive, just surgical, taking time off the clock, pounding the football, doing all these things. And people are, oh, man, maybe we misjudged this. Maybe Ohio State shouldn't have had this, 10-point spread or whatever it was when it started out. Well, Ohio State took it from there. They absolutely did whatever they want on the offensive side of the ball the entire first half, and then starting off in the second half pretty much the same way. Notre Dame did make a game of it at the end. They absolutely did. They went down and, score a touchdown, 2-point conversion, fourth quarter. They desperately needed it. Got to stop, got the ball back, went down the field, scored that touchdown, 2-point conversion to make it an 8-point game. And they were looking to stop Ohio State, to get that ball back, just to have a chance. And during that stand, you saw Will Howard on either a second or third, I don't know what it was, take a deep shot. He had single coverage, man-to-man on the side, deep shot down the sideline, like a 40-yard pass completion, and that was all she wrote. They run a couple more plays, take some more time off the clock, kick a field goal. By that time, Notre Dame only had less than 30 seconds left in an 11-point game. No chance. And that's all she wrote. And I think for Ohio State, obviously, the big loss that we talked about, did they lose to Oregon early on? Yes, they did. But the big loss we talked about was the end of the year against Michigan, the rivalry game, the big game that you have to win if you're that head coach at Ohio State. And now Ryan Day has lost 4 of those. However, as much as people were screaming about fire Ryan Day, you have to. He lost to Michigan. You got to fire Ryan Day. A lot of people say, hold your horses. They're in the college football playoff, right? There's still games to be played. And it felt like that loss united this team. That loss at home, which was a bad loss, by the way, to a very mediocre Michigan football team this season. That really lit a fire under these guys. That united this team together, and Ryan Day, despite those criticisms, got these guys ready to go and play 4 more. That's exactly what they did. The first ever 12-team playoff, and Ohio State walks away with the national championship. And I'm no big fan of Ohio State, certainly. But for me personally, somebody who grew up 30 minutes from the Notre Dame campus, but I was a Purdue fan, I despise Notre Dame with every fiber of my being. We didn't have to hear too much about Marcus Freeman being the first black coach to ever have a possibility, blah, blah, blah. But they did actually mention he was Asian as well. So shout out to ESPN, I suppose, not just focusing on the black part, but in terms of the broadcast, they made sure to get the national anthem, all those things in there. They even had a little presentation from new President Donald Trump in the middle of the game, and really no commentary about that. No little snide remarks about Trump, at least not that I heard during the broadcast. So that's it. What'd you think about the college football playoff? Not a great game for, the first 3 quarters. Notre Dame tried to make a game of it at the end, and they got within a score, but it was not to be. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.